Yo, what's up, everyone? Got some people joining in here. Put my phone on D&D. Not getting blown up while we're on here. So right now we started like 2 minutes ago, but we're gonna go ahead and wait a little bit before so we can get everyone inside the call. And then once we get some people or more people join up, then we're gonna go ahead and get started with everything. So we'll probably do like a little short Q&A. If you guys were here for the last live when I did the organic content one, you guys know how it kind of worked. We did a little bit of a Q&A in the beginning. We went through with the presentation, kind of went over everything. When it came to organic content, this one will be more about paid traffic. And then sometime in the middle, we'll probably do another little short Q&A. So any questions that you guys have in the middle of the kind of presentation and everything, you guys can ask those. And then at the end, we'll do another Q&A. And then we should be good to go. And then we'll kind of wrap everything up. So again, we're gonna wait for some more people to hop in here, and we'll get everything going. So also, if you guys have questions and stuff like that, I think we'll also just do a little short Q&A while we wait as well. Is if you click on the chat, you can click on that button, and then that'll open up a chat, and then that's where you can kind of put your questions in, and I can go ahead and answer them. So let's see. So yeah, if you guys have some questions while we wait till we get more people in here, because again, we just started, so we should have a good amount more people hopping in, and then once they hop in, we'll get everything started. But for now, we'll kind of just do a little short Q&A. It could be about the last call, it could be about today's call, it can be anything e-commerce related. Feel free to ask. No question is a stupid question, so don't worry about it. Get my water here. Besides that, if no one has any questions, how's everyone doing? Everyone good? Excited? Again, if you guys want to type in the chat, there should be a chat button somewhere. If you're on your phone, it'll look like a little text bubble there as well. Same thing if you're on the computer. It should be at the bottom. It'll be like next to React maybe. Let's see. Hope you're doing great. How can I work with baby and mother products? How's the niche? The baby niche is honestly a really, really good niche because obviously people spend money on their babies. That's their child, so they're going to take care of it. So I like that niche a lot. Have you kind of picked out a product for it? And have you kind of gotten started with it? Where are you currently at with that? But that niche is a good niche. But do you have the product picked out? Do you have a store built out for it? Like where are you currently at with that? Let's see. Let's see here. So again, anyone that's kind of waiting in here, we're gonna go ahead and wait for some more people to hop in. We should have a decent amount more people joining, and then we'll get going. What about those electric toothbrush that you turn on and it says and it stays in your mouth, no hands needed? I haven't seen that product. Biggest thing though is when you're looking for products, it's just going to be making sure it solves a problem and then it has a wow factor. And then when you're making content around your product, you want to go at it with the angle of this product solves this problem, and you need to be showing the solution because they don't buy the product itself. Like they don't care what color this toothbrush is. They don't care about all these things. They care about, in this instance, about getting their teeth white, right? How quickly can we whiten their teeth, and how easy is it to use, right? We want to make it as easy to use as possible and be able to get them results as quickly as possible. That's the only thing that people care about. And the same thing, imagine if it's like a weight loss product. If you told someone they can take this product and they'll lose all their fat, but it's going to take a year, that can stray people away, right? But if you're saying it'll help you lose weight and you'll lose 20 pounds in a week, then yeah, that's something that people would buy, right? Because that solves a pain that they have and it does it really quickly. I haven't started anything yet. There we go. I haven't started anything yet. I'm confused about choosing a product. How many hours should I take to select products, and how many products should I choose to start testing at first? Should I just browse TikTok, Instagram, or should I get help from Minea from the start? So I have heard about that tool. You can definitely use these tools to help you find products. As for how long it should take you, you don't want to spend too much time on it because at this point you're just wasting too much time when you should be testing. Biggest thing is again finding a product that solves a problem, and if it's in a good niche and this product is evergreen, there's good margins for it. There's a few kind of things that you want to check off when you're looking for a product. And what I like to do is if I'm going to try and find a new product, I'll sit down for maybe 1 to 2 hours and I'll be scrolling usually TikTok and TikTok Shop. I like TikTok Shop a lot because you can see which products are selling because it tells you how many it's sold. But I'll go on places like TikTok and I'll look to see products that solve a problem. And then I look to see, so I'll go on to Zendrop and I'll see how much I can source this product for and how much I can sell it for. So I can find out if I actually have good margins on it, because if the product doesn't have good margins, then there's really just no point to sell it because you're not going to make any money from it. The product has a wow factor, and it's also towards like a broader niche. It's not like a super micro niche product, because if it's very micro niche, then it's a little bit more difficult to sell, because the niche that you're selling to is really, really small. So it's better to be in a larger niche. But try not to spend too much time on it. It realistically should just take you maybe 1 to 2 hours, maybe even three. But just try and build out just a long sheet of products, so a list. So you can go over to like Google Sheets or something, or Google Doc, and grab all the links from the products that you find. So if you find a product on TikTok, put that link in the Google Sheet or Google Doc, and then kind of build out maybe a list of 10 to 15. And then once you kind of compile this list of products that you think are good, come back to it. And I would say wait like an hour or 2 hours. That way you can kind of like reset. Because usually what will happen is if you build out the sheet and you then immediately go and try and pick one of the products from this sheet, you'll just go with the more recent one because that's what you're like, oh, this is the best one because it's the most recent. So just take some time, like take like an hour, 2 hours, just go do something, right? Go to the gym or whatever it is, take some time off, come back, and then go through the sheet and then pick a product and then start testing. Biggest thing is you just want to start testing immediately. Time is it? So it's 1:10. I'm gonna wait another like minute or two and then we'll probably kick everything off. So if you guys have any kind of final questions before we go in, again, just click on the chat button. And then once you're in there, you can go ahead and just type in your questions and we'll answer any of those. So, of course, Tyler. Let's see here. Let's see. What if there's 5 to 6 competitors doing well in that particular product? All that means is that product is a winning product. Whenever I see someone say, "Oh, this product is saturated, this isn't that," that's not a bad thing, because it just means that this product is something that a ton of people are selling and it's working for them, right? So if it's working for them, then it will work for you. The only thing you need to do is making sure that you're doing certain things better than your competitors. So look at their website, look at probably the top person or the top store, and create a website similar to theirs. And then from there, make it better. So just try and improve little things, right? Try and get more reviews, try and get more custom images, try and get more like product videos to put onto your website. So there's a bunch of little things that you could do to increase your website. Then also look at content. How can you make your content a little bit better than theirs? So just try and outdo your competitor a little bit more. But competition is not a bad thing. Competition just means that this is a validated product. So it's definitely a product you want to run. Now, the only thing is just making sure you outcompete the people that are running the store. So I'll probably take on maybe like one more question, then we're gonna kick everything off. So if not, I'm gonna wait like a minute and then we'll really get started here. There we go. Do I need to purchase the product first to start testing because I need to start making content about it? And do I need to set up the store before making content? As I live in Bangladesh, it's going to take 3 weeks to reach the product. I would say you definitely need the product if you're going to make content around it, because if you're just ripping other people's content and then editing it up, there's a lot of constraints to that. Also, you definitely need the store set up if you're going to make content for it, because if you make all of this content and you don't have a store for it, then you're just driving traffic to absolutely nothing and you're wasting all this time making the content. Order the or order the product, and while you wait for the product to get to you, build out your store. Once the store is built, then you should have gotten the product to your house, and from there you can start creating content. So during the time that you're waiting for your product to show up, um, build out the store. All right, with all that, let's go ahead and dive straight into the actual kind of how to go and start with paid ads. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and just let me know if you guys can see my screen here. Let me pull up the chat here so I can see. Can you guys see my screen? Just type in yes, no. If you guys can't see my screen, just let me know. Yes, no. Let's see. Okay, cool. We can see it. All right, nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the chat here. And then I also want to hide this. Okay, cool. So hold up. All right, so mastering paid ads for drop shipping, and this is going to be Meta and TikTok advertising strategies for beginners. So really quickly, why do paid ads matter? Paid ads accelerate growth by reaching targeted customers at scale. So with organic traffic, the biggest thing is when you're posting organic content on TikTok and Instagram, you're not able to select and kind of choose who you want to see your content, and it's very just broad and generic people. Obviously you can kind of make your content like the messaging to a specific customer and specific type of person, but the thing is you're still going to get a very broad audience. Whereas with paid ads and paid traffic, you can choose who you want to see your content. So you can, again, if you're selling a beauty product, you can have it geared towards women that are 30 plus and live in the United States, and they have these certain interests. They are interested in beauty products, right? So there's so much kind of more precision and things that you can kind of dial in on when it comes to your marketing and finding the right people. And the first thing is also just going to be immediate visibility. With organic reach, it's limited and it's kind of slow. So you can have videos that get 500 views and that's it. Whereas with paid ads, you can put $10,000 to it and you're going to get views no matter what. And it's immediate, right? So with paid, you don't have to worry about not getting views. So that's the other thing in comparison to organic. But if you're a complete beginner, then I highly still recommend doing organic first and then moving to paid. And like I just talked about, precision marketing, you're able to target specific demographics, behaviors, and interests. This is also more scalable growth. So successful dropshippers use paid ads to test products quickly and scale winners profitably. So once you do kind of become a more experienced dropshipper and you understand how to run ads, you're able to test products a lot faster. But the thing is, if you're a beginner and you want to start testing products, you're going to have to spend a lot of money because you don't, as a beginner, you don't know how to create winning creatives and winning ads. So you're just going to be kind of testing a bunch of stuff, and you will probably end up wasting a little bit of money. But you are able to test a lot quicker. That's why I do recommend for beginners, go ahead, use create or organic content to test out your product and test out your creatives. And then when you have a video that does go viral, then you can run that as a paid ad. So, but for more experienced dropshippers, this is a way better way to test products because you're able to test a lot quicker. So yeah. And then measurable data with paid traffic, you're able to track every little bit of data. You don't have to, or with organic content, you can't really see who's seeing your content. It's very just generic. Whereas with paid traffic, you can literally see everything about each person that is coming to your store and see every little metric that you have. So now real quick, Meta versus TikTok. So which platform should you go ahead and choose for yourself? So with Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, usually on these platforms, it's a demographic of people that are 25 to like 55 plus. Usually with Instagram, TikTok, or Instagram and Facebook, there is an older group of people on this in comparison to TikTok, where TikTok is usually a younger platform. This is where a lot of younger people are. So you'll see people between 18 to 34 years old. And then also with Meta, you'll have more product focused and direct response. So this is, you can kind of get away with just having very direct and very kind of more product focused content. Whereas with TikTok, you need to make it authentic and more native to the platform. So this is like posting UGC content or running UGC content as ads, you need to make sure that your content is native to the platform. You can't just run something that would work on Facebook, like a static image, on TikTok, because it's probably not going to work. So you need to be running, again, like I said, videos and content that is native to the platform. And the same thing goes with Facebook and Instagram. And then the biggest strength for, let me go ahead and let this person in. So the biggest strength for Meta, so Facebook, Instagram, is just going to be detailed targeting and retargeting. So you're able to get a lot more niche down on your ideal customer and kind of like your ideal lead that you want to get. So the ideal people that you want to buy. So you can really just hone in on that. Whereas with TikTok, there's a lot more viral potential and lower CPMs. So say with Meta, say you were to pay $10 for 1,000 views, right? But whereas with TikTok, you can pay $5 and still get 1,000 views. So it's a lot cheaper to get the same amount of views on TikTok. But again, the audience on Facebook and Instagram is an older audience. These people have more money, so that's why this is kind of more better for more experienced dropshippers. And then again, this is best for consistent conversions and scaling, whereas TikTok is more trend driven products. So you'll see a lot of products that are just very trendy at the moment. And these are the products that usually perform really well. So with TikTok, you can make a ton of money. But the thing is, it can eventually die down. Whereas with Meta, Facebook, Instagram, that's where you see products can more so just consistently scale and they don't really just dip down. It's more consistent. And real insight is most successful dropshippers run campaigns on both platforms simultaneously, because usually if you're creating content for, let's say, Instagram, and you're going to run ads on Instagram, a lot of the times the content on here will also work on TikTok. So you might as well just be running both regardless. Now, granted, that's if you have the budget for that. So let me go ahead and go to the next slide. So now campaign structure, I want to go over how to kind of, or how the actual, again, campaign structure works. So first we have the campaign level, and this is where you set your main objective. So this will be setting your campaign for sales and conversions typically, especially with dropshipping, and just overall budget type. And then inside of that campaign, you will have ad sets. So this is the ad set level. And this essentially defines who sees your ads. So say with ad set 1, we just leave this at a very broad audience. We want it to literally be shown to everybody. And then ad set 2 is going to be the interest stack. So this is where we can go ahead and add certain interests. So maybe this person is interested in beauty products, right? And we go ahead and add all these interests. And then ad set number 3 is going to be lookalike. And then from there, that drops down to the ad level. And then that will be our actual creatives. These are the videos that are being shown. So usually you'll create probably like 3 to 5 videos for your ads. And then all 3 to 5 videos will be put into each ad set. And now there's also, really quickly, there's 2 ways that we can set up our entire campaign. We can set up a campaign budget. And say we set up a campaign budget of $100. It'll, Facebook or TikTok in this instance, will take this $100 and it'll split it between all 3 of the ad sets, but it won't split it evenly. It'll split it to the ad sets that are performing the best. So say ad set number 1 is getting us the best metrics. It'll take that $100 and it'll mainly be spending to ad set number 1, whereas 2 and 3 aren't going to be getting that much money. Or what you could also do is set up ad set budgets. So say you wanted to do $25 on ad set 1, $25 on ad set 2, $25 on ad set 3. What'll happen is all of them are going to spend $25. And what it's going to do is it's going to take the money and spend it to the ad creative that performs the best. But that also still happens when you do campaign budget optimization. Now, real quick, kind of beginner strategy is you want to start simple. So 1 campaign with 3 to 5 ad sets. So you will just want to be testing different audiences, and then also 2 to 3 ads per set. Let's go to the next page. So now we have budget strategy. So strategic testing with small budgets, minimize risk while gathering crucial data. So first thing is going to be the testing phase. You usually want to start with maybe $5 to $10 per day per each ad set. So say you were running 3 ad sets, that'll be $10 to each ad set. That'll usually be around $30 per day. And you usually want to run this for 3 to 5 days minimum. If you're spending more, so say you're spending $25 on each ad set, so or say you're just in overall spending $50 per day, then you can kind of cut that down to maybe running or testing for 1 to 2 days, because now you're spending more, so you're testing quicker. And then during this entire process, during this testing phase, you don't want to touch any of the ads during the learning phase because you don't want to mess anything up. This is the phase where Facebook or TikTok is trying to find you an audience and trying to find you or is trying to find the people that would be interested in your product. Biggest thing is also that I see a lot of people think, oh, Facebook and TikTok or they don't want me to succeed. They're not showing my ads to people. I'm not making any money, and it's because of Facebook and TikTok. The thing is, TikTok and Facebook, they want you to make money with your ads because if you are making money with your ads, then you're going to continue to pay TikTok and Facebook to keep running those ads, right? They want your ads to succeed because if they do, then they will make more money, right? And it's kind of mutually beneficial for your ads to perform well. So don't think that, oh, my ads aren't working because Facebook, TikTok just don't like me. That's not true. If they're not working, your ad probably just isn't good, quite frankly. And then number two is going to be optimization rules. So kill losers if you have no sales after spending 2 to 3x a product, and you want to scale winners. So increase budget by 20 to 30% every 2 to 3 days. This will help you maintain stability, avoid drastic budget jumps, and things like that. And then the third thing is going to be budget allocation. So 70% of proven winning campaigns, you need to be putting that money back into that. Whereas the 30% you want to be spending on new creatives and audiences. So you constantly want to be testing new creatives and new audiences and new interests and things like that. You want to try and, again, you just want to be testing as much as possible while also focusing on scaling your winning campaigns as well. So the next thing is organic to ads. So we kind of talked about organic yesterday. So your best or not yesterday, but the other day. Well, your best performing organic content is usually going to be gold for paid advertising. So what you want to do is post your content on TikTok and Instagram and look for organic videos with high engagement rates. So this will be saves, shares, watch time, and this will show you what are proven concepts. If a video gets 1 million views, then you know this is a video that people are already watching without being shown. Like this isn't a paid ad. You're not paying to show this in front of people's faces. This is people are watching this and they're engaging with it. And now because of that, it's being shown to more people and all of these people are still watching and engaging with it. So this shows this is a good video. And what you want to do is repurpose this video natively. So what you want, again, you want to take this video and recreate multiple versions of it and keep posting it. And real quick, ugly ads typically outperform the ones that are in polished studios. So the ones that feel raw and authentic, these are usually the ads that perform the best because they don't seem like ads, right? When you see videos that are super highly edited and have the best lighting possible and literally just look the best possible, you can kind of sniff out and tell immediately that this is an ad. That's why I like to run organic content and see what performs well and then run that as an ad, because if it's already performing well on the platform, then people are already watching this normally, so then it'll work. So that's why I say ugly ads usually outperform the more polished studio content looking ones, because again, these are just, they seem more native to the platform, right? And then the third thing is going to be adding hooks. So add subtle text overlays or a new hook in the first 3 seconds to stop the scroll immediately. So hook is, again, we talk about in the organic live session, but your hook is the most important part. And what you need to do is say you have a video that gets 1 million views, you start running that as an ad. You then want to create multiple variations. And the way that you can do that is taking the original hook and changing the wording just slightly and then testing that. And then if that performs well, then good. Take that hook and then change it around a little bit and then test that as well. If it doesn't perform well, then kill it off and go back to the original and then try and create multiple variations. But again, I'm going to say this over and over and over again for literally everything, is you need to be testing things, seeing how it performs, and then creating multiple versions of it and then testing that and seeing how that performs as well. And then, like I literally just talked about, is test variations. Create multiple versions of it and test them as much as you possibly can, right? The more you test, the more you can find out what works and what doesn't work. And you can, again, you'll be able to find out what works a lot quicker if you're testing more often, right? If you're not testing that often, then you're going to find out what works a lot slower, right? And you might never, ever even find out what works. So the next thing is going to be add creative elements. So how can we go ahead? What does an ad look like? It's very similar to just organic content in general. So the first 3 seconds is going to be the hook. You want to stop the scroll immediately and use pattern interrupts. So bold claims or relatable problems, you want to grab people's attention immediately. because if you're not grabbing the attention, then the rest of the video doesn't even matter, because you can create the best video from here all the way to the call to action, and it doesn't matter, because the thing is, if you're not grabbing people's attention, then it's just not a good video. That's why I like to say test with organic content, because then you can find out what hooks work, right? And then you can use these hooks for ads. So first thing is going to be the hook. Second thing is going to be the problem and solution. So after you've hooked the people and you want to talk up, oh, where'd I go? Okay. So after you've told the people about, or after you've hooked them in, you want to show them the problem and show them the solution. Usually the people will relate to the problem and solution. And then after that, you want to kind of show them in demonstration. So don't just tell them about the product, show them actually what it's doing, right? So say it's a beauty product, you want to show exactly how this product works. And then after that, you want to go ahead and show social proof. So this is going to be testimonials, user reviews, or as seen on TV credibility markers. All right. And this will get people to kind of trust you now to this point, because now you've hooked them in, you've shown them, hey, this is the problem that this product solves. Again, always harping down on the fact that of showing people this is the solution that our product provides. That's the most important thing, because people don't care what the product is made out of. People don't care how the product looks. People don't care what color it is. People care about the solution. People want to solve their problems, and the way that they can solve their problem is with our product, right? All the other the things like the features and stuff like that, those are just added bonuses. People don't actually care about it, right? And then demonstration, social proof, and then our call to action. This is probably also one of the most important parts. I would say the hook and call to action. I would say the hook is probably like 90%, like 70% most important, and then 30% is like call to action. The rest of the stuff is fairly simple, but call to action is telling people what to do after they've watched the video, because you can have the best hook ever, you can have the best body of the video ever, but if you're not telling people what to do if they want this product after they watch the video, then they're just going to keep scrolling. You got to remember, people are scrolling on TikTok and Instagram are in this short dopamine mindset at the moment, so they're just used to keep on scrolling. So if they watch the video, they're like, oh, this is really cool, all right, swipe. So you need to tell them what to do after they've watched, right? And this is super, super important. And usually during the call to action, what you can also do is have a little bit of urgency. So telling people, we have a buy one, get one half off sale. We have a buy two, get one free sale. And this is only for the next 2-3 days. And also the other thing is you want to tie it into maybe a holiday, right? Right now it's January 9th, right? So kind of the new year. So you can kind of hold it, like kind of have it related to that. And it could be like, we're having a buy one, get one half off sale, and this ends tomorrow, or buy one, get one half off New Year, end of New Year's sale, whatever it is, and this ends tomorrow, right? You're building that urgency and kind of getting scarcity and all these things to get people to want to impulse buy, because now you hook them in, you show them the problem and solution, so they're like, oh, I have that problem, oh, that's the solution. You show them now how it works, and then you show them real social proof from other people, and now you're telling them, go ahead and click the button below this video, we have this offer that ends tomorrow. So they're already interested, and now you're pretty much telling them you need to go now and get it now if you want to get it for this price and for this deal and stuff like that. So really quickly, I just want to take a second to pause. Do you guys have any kind of questions? I might be going a little bit quickly right now, but I just want to try and give you guys as much information as possible. So if you guys have any questions and stuff like that, I'll go ahead, I'll answer those. So if you guys go to the chat and type those in, any questions to this point? I was going to take a second to drink some water. Any questions on the ad creative structure, on the how the paid ad structure works, anything like that? Oh, there we go. Any questions? Again, if you guys want to go ahead and click on the chat button, if you're on your phone, it'll look like a little text message thing, and same thing if you're on a laptop, it'll look like a little text message bubble. So let me know if you guys see that. And then, yeah, any questions? I will wait like it's 1:32. I'll go ahead and wait like probably like another minute, and then we'll get back into it. So you guys got any questions? You guys can't see me at the same time either, right? It's just my screen. which point of the organic content's reach is going to tell me I need to start running ads with it? It's usually if you have a decent amount of views and there's also a decent amount of engagement. So a ton of comments of people saying like, where can I get this? How much is it? Like people like that are actually interested in your product. There's not like a certain amount of like views or anything, I would say. You can usually just tell, especially if you're posting multiple videos and multiple videos are performing well. If multiple videos are performing well, it shows that you have a good product. And if you have videos that go super, super viral, so say something like 1 million views, then that is like a really good hook that you should be running. But if like your videos on average are getting 10K views, then that's kind of how you know you have a winning product. And but then what you want to do is the outliers, so the videos that get like 100,000 views or 1 million views. These are products that you want to be selling. So, any other kind of questions? Any kind of final things? Also, really quickly, is there anybody that hasn't created their store up to this point? Does everybody have a store built to this point? Yes, no? Let's see. Uh, You didn't create? Okay. So if you didn't create a store, we'll be dropping the link. You can go ahead and create your store for completely free using AI. And that'll be just using the storebuild.ai tool. So that'll be dropped in the chat now, and it'll also be dropped in the chat at the end of the live. So at the end of the live, you can also go ahead and click on that. And we'll also drop the link now. So if you want to go ahead and get it now, but we will also have it at the end. So how can I build it? I haven't selected the product yet. So again, we'll drop the link in there and you can go ahead and you can build your store. You can also go ahead and choose the product. Or actually the products come onto the website when you go ahead and build the store as well. So there's a few products that are already on there. So again, we'll drop the link to that now and also at the end of the live, and you can go ahead and check that out. So yeah, there we go. So if you guys see that link, you guys can go ahead and click on that and also get your stores built. And this will be like literally everything. You'll get products, you'll get your store, you'll get supplier, everything you need. And I'm pretty sure you also get a few videos for content for your product. Patty, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that it does come with that. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get back into it. And yeah, so let's get back into it. So creative elements. So we already went over this. So the next thing, all right. So the next thing is going to be drop shipping creative strategies. So overcome skepticism with authenticity and urgency. So first thing is authenticity wins. You want to use UGC style videos. They convert typically 3 to 5 times better than studio ads. So usually the videos that are kind of like with your phone, talking to the camera, these ads usually perform a lot better because they don't seem like ads. If you're in the perfect studio with the perfect lighting, perfect camera, and everything, people can sniff out that it's an ad, right? So if you have UGC style videos, right, a little bit less production quality, it's filmed on your phone and it just looks like an actual person filmed it, like just a normal person went and filmed it, then these are usually the videos that perform the best, right? Because it feels native to the platform. It feels real. It doesn't feel like an ad. Now, I'm not saying go and create ugly looking videos. Like obviously try and get good lighting, try and get good sound, like sound quality. But you don't have to have this crazy setup. You don't have to have some $5,000 camera. You don't have to have the best lighting possible, right? As long as it's good lighting, good sound quality, and you have a decent camera, right? Like an iPhone will work perfectly fine and you're good to go. Second is going to be kill objections. So address skepticism head on, explicitly mention fast shipping, quality returns, and easy return policies to build trust. Usually I like to do guarantees. So it's like if you don't get results within 30 days, you can go ahead and return the product for completely free, right? And we'll give you a refund, right? This will be usually at the end of the video when people are kind of maybe skeptical and on the fence. you'll say something like, if the product doesn't work for you in 30 days, you can go ahead and return it and we'll give you a complete refund, no questions asked, right? Usually that'll be something that'll get people over the edge to buy because now they're not really worried about like, oh, did I waste my money? Because if it didn't work for them, they can just ship it back. Um, and then the third thing is going to be creating urgency. So give them a reason to buy now. So use limited time offers, scarcity, messaging, saying something like only 5 left, or countdowns to drive immediate action. So usually what I like to do is try and tie in my urgency and scarcity around the holiday. So right now, New Year's just passed, so you can kind of tie everything over to New Year's, saying like, this is our New Year's sale, this is ending tomorrow, something like that. And now we kind of got Valentine's Day coming up, so you can be like, this is our early Valentine's Day sale. This is ending in 3 days, whatever it is. And then when it gets closer to Valentine's Day sale, you can say this is our Valentine's Day sale, and then also at the end of Valentine's Day sale. But usually the reason I like to tie it down to holidays is because it feels more real. Because if you just have a sale for the sake of having a sale, people can kind of feel like, this isn't real. This is just normal price, and they're just saying it's a sale. Because now people know that that's what a lot of big companies do nowadays. So if you tie it to a holiday, it does feel a lot more authentic and real, and you feel like it's actually a sale because of the holiday. Let me see. I got some questions here. Um, let's see. Or I'll answer at the end, actually. Okay. So next thing is testing framework. So continuous testing separates profitable campaigns from money losing ones. So testing protocol, you usually want to isolate your variables. So test one variable at a time and see what changes. Also, you can do A/B testing. So when you're you can test two separate things. So say you're testing one ad set and it is a very broad audience, and then you're also testing another ad set and that is a very you set up like certain interests and you can see which one performs best. So say you have one that's just very broad. Say you're selling a beauty product, right? And you're selling one product or one of the ad sets is for just women and the other ad set is for women over 30. What you can do is run this for a few days, see which one performs the best, and then go with that one, right? And see how the data kind of compares. And then whichever one performs better, then you run that and you can test more variations of that and keep A/B testing. Now, again, I'm going to say this over and over and over again, but you want to be constantly testing everything, testing your creatives, testing your ad setup, testing your interests, testing, again, everything, testing demographic. And then also document your patterns. So you want to make sure that you're documenting all of the things that are currently working and all the things that aren't working when it comes to your creatives and your setup and everything like that. So you can always see which ones perform the best for you. And now a few common mistakes that you need to avoid, and these are critical errors, and these usually drain budgets without delivering results, is the first thing is targeting extreme. So you're targeting either one, you're targeting too broad, or two, you're targeting way too narrow. So if you're targeting too broad, it'll be very difficult for the Facebook algorithm to try and kind of find you an audience. And then if you're kind of targeting too narrow, so you're just going way too niche down on who the person is, there's just not that big of an audience for it. So you're going to be spending, your CPM is going to increase by a lot because it's harder to find, or it's more expensive to target these people because you're very, very kind of niche down. And then we have poor quality creative, so blurry videos or generic stock photos that look like spam. You just want to make sure that you have good looking videos and you also just aren't downloading random images from Alibaba and then running these as your kind of static images, right? You need to use good quality images, usually custom images of the product that you can take yourself, and then also just not blurry videos. Again, big tip is make sure you clean your camera, the lens, before you film. I still make the mistake today myself where I won't clean the lens. I'll look at the video and look, oh, this looks blurry, and then I have to reshoot it. And this the other thing is I see too many people that shoot and then they look at it after and then they see that the video is kind of blurry and they go, it's not that big of a deal. I promise you it is so much bigger of a deal than you probably think it is. Go back, take the extra 5 minutes to reshoot the video, and I promise you it's going to convert so much better. And then also giving up too early. I see too many people that are killing ads before the algorithm ever learns. They think that they spent $15 in ads and now all of a sudden their ads aren't working and they think, this ad doesn't work. I need to shut it off. you're not even allowing the ad or the your ad account and your pixel to learn. You need to understand that it's going to take a little bit of time. Usually you want to spend around $50 to $100 over 3 to 5 days before deciding. And what you can even do is spend $100 in 1 to 2 days. And then that's when you kind of make some changes. You need to realize, and even then, that's still also kind of low for testing in the grand scheme of things, right? You need to try and actually get a large amount of people to test and to see results, right? If you're just spending $10, $15 and then you get no sales, then obviously like you're not going to make any sales. You haven't even let the algorithm learn and try and find an audience. The algorithm has to go through a little bit of a testing period and find who would be interested in your product. And then we also have broken tracking. So running ads without a verified pixel means you're essentially flying blind. You need to set up a pixel. So a pixel pretty much connects your ad account to your store, and this essentially allows Facebook or TikTok to see what you're looking for. So if you're setting up your store or your ads for sales and conversions, it needs to see the people going onto your store and actually buying. Once it sees people doing that, then it can show to more people that make that typical action, right? So if you're not setting up a pixel, Facebook, TikTok is not able to see which people or how these people are reacting on your store, right? They could be buying, but TikTok and Facebook don't even know that. So they don't know who else to show it to. So you could be making a ton of sales in one day, and then TikTok and Facebook don't see that. So they're like, oh, these people didn't work. These aren't good leads. We're going to go ahead and find a different group of people, right? So you're kind of, again, just letting the algorithm fly blindly. You need to be showing it the result that you want, right? And then also ignoring mobile. 90% of social media ads are viewed on mobile devices. Nobody is scrolling through TikTok on a laptop. Nobody's scrolling through TikTok on a desktop. It's very, very rare. So you need to be optimizing everything for mobile. So your store needs to be optimized for mobile. Your ads need to be optimized for mobile. Every little thing about your store needs to be optimized for mobile, because that's what 90% of people are looking at your store and looking at your content at, right? They're all on their phones. And then scaling campaigns. So strategic scaling preserves profitability while increasing revenue. So there's a few ways we can go ahead about scaling. And the first one is going to be vertical scaling. So you'll gradually increase your daily budget on winning ad sets by 20 to 30% every 2 to 3 days. Avoid sudden jumps to keep the algorithm stable. Someone's on. I don't know what's going on. Avoid sudden jumps to keep the algorithm stable, right? So you want to increase the budget on each ad set. Someone is drawing on the screen. Yeah, I don't know why there's like scribble going on the screen. So yeah, we want to go ahead and increase the budget on each ad set, not the campaign itself, and that is called vertical scaling. And then we have horizontal scaling, and this is where we duplicate the winning ad sets to target new audiences or lookalikes. So to expand to new placements or platforms. So instead of increasing the budget on the ad sets, we duplicate the ones that are already working for us. So say we have 3 ad sets and ad set 1 is performing the best, we will duplicate ad set 1 multiple times because this is an ad set that's performing best. And then we increase the budget on our campaign. So say we have a campaign budget of $100, it'll then take that money and then put it to the ad set 1 and ad set 1 duplicates. And then we also have creative scaling. So combat ad fatigue by producing variations of your winners, test new hooks, music, or edits to refresh the feed. So again, you constantly want to be creating new ad creatives to test, see how they perform. The more ad creatives you have, the more testing you're doing, the quicker, again, you're able to find out your winning ad creatives, and you're able to then take these and scale them up and make a good amount of money from it. And then the next thing is going to be, so a few key takeaways and next steps are going to be focus on one platform. Don't spread yourself thin, master Meta or TikTok before expanding to both. If you become a more experienced dropshipper, then yes, you want to do both. But in the beginning, as a complete beginner, just pick one and focus on that one. If you're trying to do both, then you're going to be kind of juggling both of these things. It'll be very difficult for you as a beginner. Trust me, I'm talking from experience here. And then budget is education. So treat your first $500 in ad spend as kind of like tuition. You're buying data and learning what works. That's why I say as well, if you're a beginner, try to use organic content to really test and to find out what actually works instead of just immediately jumping into paid ads. If you do have a little bit of experience, then yes, I recommend getting into paid ads. But if you have zero experience, test out with organic content. Once you test with organic content and you find out what works and you kind of understand how to create content, that's when you go ahead and take these viral videos that you have and then run these as ads. And then creative is king. The ad creative is the number one factor in success. And you need to spend 80% of your time here. Most of the time, you can get away with running a very broad campaign and just having your ad creative have all the messaging and targeting for your customer, right? So, say in your ad, you are talking about or you're talking to women that are over 30 years old and are interested in beauty, right? We're inside of our ad, we're essentially doing all of our messaging to try and get a specific type of customer, right? So, about creative again is going to be the most important part. Is this again? I can't emphasize this enough. And then build a swipe file. So save competitor ads and successful creatives. Don't reinvent the wheel. Iterate on what is currently working. So look to see what everybody else is doing and create multiple versions of that because these are usually the one. Or if we create multiple versions of those, it's essentially like we're looking at what's already working and then recreating that. And most of the time, it will work for us as well, as long as we're creating it very similar to theirs or slightly better than theirs. If you're trying to come up with like original stuff, it's going to be a lot more difficult because you don't know how to create winning creatives, right? So it's better to look at what's already working and create versions of that. And then you also, again, you just want to have this big spreadsheet or something where you're kind of putting all of these videos down and these ideas down so you can go ahead and make these yourself. But that is pretty much going to be it for the presentation. So now we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A. So you guys have any questions and stuff like that, feel free, drop them in the chat and we'll be answering all the questions now. So let me go ahead and stop my screen share. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of a Q&A. And also, like I talked about earlier in the middle of the live, if you guys haven't built your store, we'll drop the link to that in the chat and you guys can go ahead and finish either one, activating your store if you've already started it, or if you haven't built out your store, you can go ahead and click the link and build out your store there. It takes like 5 minutes. You get a store, you get products on there, and you also get videos with it as well. So we'll drop the link in the chat for that as well. But now we'll probably just do a little bit of a Q&A. Any questions you guys have about what we just covered and everything like that, feel free to drop them down there. I have a little bit of water too. Also, real quick, what we'll probably end up doing, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. And I kind of want to show you guys exactly how the store building process looks like. So let's go back over to Zoom. And we'll open the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the link. And I'll kind of show you guys exactly what it looks like. So if you go over to the link, I'm going to click on this one right here. It'll bring me to storebuild.ai. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually we're going to do sign up. So once you get onto storebuild.ai, it's going to look like this. So you can go ahead and click on clothing, pets, tech, home, sports, whatever it is. So just say I'm going to do pets for this one. I'm going to select on pets. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my name. And then I'm going to put in my email. So I'll just do Adam Test Store 12345 at gmail.com. And then I'm going to do my phone number, right? And then I'm going to click on agree. And then I'm going to click on claim my store, right? And then once we've done that, it's going to go ahead and load. And then what we're going to do is click on create Shopify store. And then what we're going to do is create a store through here. So we'll just click on this. And then I'm just going to create a password for it real quick. Create Shopify account. And then I'm just going to click on, I'm not going to save this. And then I'm going to click on, you don't have to go ahead and enter your card information. What you can do is also just click on skip. And then I'm going to skip the customized setup. And now we have a Shopify account. So I'm going to come back over to store build. Then I'm going to click on next once I have my Shopify account. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and choose my banner that I want to go with. So I'll just go with this one right here. I like the way that this one looks. Click on next. Then from here, all I need to do is go ahead and activate my store. So that would go over to Shopify, and then we'll go ahead and install the store build app, and we'll install the Zendrop app. And then from there, there would be a few more steps, but that's pretty much everything when it comes to building the store. Again, it's really, really quick, and it doesn't take any time at all. So I highly recommend go and do that. We'll drop the link in the chat as well. So let's see. Is AutoDS best supplier? No, I would go with Zendrop. Zendrop is the best supplier. Let's see. Should I use VPN to research for products in TikTok and Instagram, and also use a VPN to post it on those platforms? Is there any chance to get banned? Specific country audience. I would not use a VPN to post because you can get banned for that. Because TikTok and Instagram will see that your location is jittering back and forth, and then it can tell it's a spam account. What is the most you've made in a single month? $50,000. Any other questions, stuff like that? Feel free to drop that in the chat. Make sure I got the microphone right there. The AI generated store has random products. That's not going to work like that, right? As we've learned until now. So yeah, it comes with a few products, but the other thing is you also want to go ahead and select a few products yourself. The products are on there are already good. So those are products you can definitely run, but I usually like to kind of just take control of myself and just find my own products as well. But you can definitely use those products too. They're definitely good products too. How to reach specific countries, audience specifically. You can set up your targeting for paid ads to have it go to United States, Australia, Canada, things like that. When I installed store build on Shopify, it told me that it can cost up to $50 a month. How does that work? So that would be after the trial process. But to start, it's completely free. So essentially, you sign up for it, you get the trial and everything, and during that trial process, your main goal is to just try and make as much money as possible, and then try and make the money to cover off after the trial ends. If the trial is about to end, you haven't made any money, you can always just restart. Now, the only thing is you're gonna have to build out another store, which is kind of annoying and kind of move all over your stuff. So but I'm a total beginner. I need to start organically. Then there's nothing you can do with organic content to target a specific audience. And if you post with a VPN, then you're just going to get banned. What you can do is maybe reach out to somebody that you know that is in the United States and then have them post the content for you. Or if the person that has a beef from the United States, they can be from Canada, Australia, wherever you kind of want to post from. But I would recommend the United States. Any other questions, stuff like that? We got some other people in here that I haven't really asked any questions. We got Steve here. I haven't seen him ask any questions. We got Al here, hasn't really asked any questions. So if you guys want to ask, feel free. Again, no question is a dumb question. All right. So I'm gonna wait I'll probably answer questions for another 2-3 minutes, and then we'll kind of wrap everything up. What if I always start the specific TikTok account with NordVPN paid with a specific server selected? You're still gonna get banned. I promise you, it's not gonna work. You need to find someone that would be in the United States that can post the content for you. So we'll take another minute here. Any kind of final questions? Did you come from money, or were you trying to, or were you just like me, a normal kid trying to make money and struggles? Yes, I did. I was the exact same as you. I did not come from money. I was originally going to go to college. I was going to get a loan so that I can go to college and continue to play hockey. That was the sport I was playing. And again, my parents couldn't afford college, so I was going to have to take a loan out. I didn't want to take out the loan. I didn't want to take on the college debt. So I decided not to go. And I missed the date for the sign up to classes. So once I missed the due date, I essentially bought myself 6 months of where I needed to make e-commerce work. And that's when I really, really dove headfirst into it. Because again, I had no other backup plan. I worked a job, and while I was working that job, as soon as I'd leave work, I would focus on my store. I'd go to bed, wake up, go to the job, work, make whatever money I was making. Like it was like probably 20 an hour, or maybe like 18 an hour. I'd get out and then I would start working on my store. And then all the money that I made from my job was put back into my store. So I definitely did not come from money, unfortunately. It would be nice. Okay, I got it. So it's going to be hard for me because I don't have anyone living in the US. I have some people live in the UK though. So if I need to post from here, all I need to make paid ads. That's all. If you're going to be marketing your store from where you are, you need to be, yes, making paid ads. That way you can target people in the US or things like that. If you have people in the UK, that would also work. Now, I don't know how TikTok works in the UK. I don't know if there's restrictions and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say you would need someone that would post for you. All right, so we're gonna go. That's 1:59, so I'll go till 2 o'clock. So if anyone has any final questions, Senna, I hope I answered your question with that one. Let's see. All right. I don't think there's any more questions in here. So that is going to be it for the live. I hope I hope this helped out. I hope that I kind of answer any questions you guys might have. So with that being said, I'll see you guys all later. All right. Have a good one, everyone.